Hi guys, and welcome back to World of Tanks, and we're going to be looking at the M56 Scorpion. I realise it's not in the store at the minute, and you can't buy it from the tech tree, but it does pop in every now and again, and I've had a couple of people asking after this one recently, and it's one that I'm surprised I haven't done yet, and I'm sure it'll be popping up into the store again fairly soon, so I thought I'd have a look at it. Its Tankopedia listed price is 5,150 gold, and it has 820 hit points, and it's a tier 7 American premium tank destroyer. It does not get preferential matchmaking. It does see up to tier 9, but that really doesn't bother it. The gun can handle it, it really can. And the armour, well, it doesn't matter what's shooting at you. Tier 1s can pen you, and that is no joke. But we'll cover that a bit more shortly. Its bonuses, while we're here, it's got a 35% silver bonus and a 25% XP bonus. Now, as you can see, I've not got a very good crew in it. I try and put as fresh a crew as possible into the tanks that I'm reviewing so that you get a more accurate idea of how they actually perform. Obviously I have the equipment on it. I do like to try and have 6th sense on the crew at least, just to give me a bit of a chance, you know, that bit of a warning system, bit of a chance. But other than that, I try to keep them as fresh as possible. But let's get into the actual gun and look at that. Well, it's a 90mm gun. A lot of the American tanks do have the 90mm. 219 pen though, which is quite good. Is it the CDC? It's got something like 212, and that's got damn good pen at tier 8. Really on that 90mm. So 219 at tier 7, really good penetration. Average 240 damage, which is your pretty much your standard 90mm damage. 275 for your premium rounds, which are heat, and again, you know, it sees up to tier 9. I can't think of much that you'll struggle with 275mm of pen. With even the 219 and with the accuracy on this, you're probably not going to struggle. Your HE rounds, 45 pen and 320 damage. I do take a few of those. There are things that your pen, don't forget, tier 7, so you can see tier 5s occasionally. And 45mm is enough to pen the side and rear of some of the, even some of the tier 8s as well, that you'll see. And tier 9 maybe the rear, possibly, I don't know, that's a bit iffy, but yeah, it's worth taking a few for a couple of certain situations. Now, aiming time isn't bad at 2 seconds, and accuracy is pretty good at 0.33 as well. Hull traverse 40 degrees, which is again quite good. Gun traverse is awful, very very bad. It's not a fully traversable turret, but it does have a very good wide gun arc at the front, which you'll see in the replays. But it does traverse very very slowly at only 12 degrees, and that can be a problem when you're trying to follow or track a fast moving target. View range 350 meters, which is a bit on the low side, to be honest. It is an open top vehicle, which normally have higher, but it is very small and low, so that's probably got something to do with it. And it's got a 500 meter signal range, which, sorry, I've had the hiccups this afternoon, and one just snuck out, then I do apologise. It's sort of one of those where it's not quite a hiccup and you sort of catch it. But anyway, enough of that. Yeah, possibly a bit small. Now, these were used from, I think they were manufactured from 1953 to 59, according to Tankopedia. But they weren't very popular and were replaced by the Sheridan. But they were intended to be dropped in either by parachute or glider, or transported by cargo plane. And they were occasionally used for artillery support in Vietnam, it says. Equipment wise, well, I've gone for a camo net, binocular telescope, and medium caliber tank gun rammer, which is self-explanatory to make the rate of fire better. Binocular telescope, because I feel that the view range isn't brilliant, and with it having a good wide gun arc, you don't really need to move the hull that much, and I just felt that was better for it. You might disagree and go for coated optics. That's personal preference. And the camo net, just to try and make himself even sneakier, because your best defense in this is not getting seen. You could possibly drop the gun rammer out for a gun laying drive instead. I don't think it'd miss it too much. Or maybe even drop the camo net and take the gun rammer and the gun laying drive, because it's not got bad concealment as it is. But for me, they were the ones that made sense, but it's down to personal preference. Skill wise, well, you're pretty much your standard sneaky tank destroyer. Skills, it is a glass cannon in the true sense. 6th sense, camouflage, maybe muffled shot, green thumb, that sort of stuff. You definitely want armour on it because of how you play this tank. You get your gun knocked out a lot and damaged a lot. And possibly snapshot. It doesn't seem to have particularly good dispersion values for the gun when you're moving. So, you know, when you pull up, you do have to wait for it to settle down quite a bit. Yeah, situational awareness as well. Definitely armourer. More than likely situational awareness. And as well, possibly preventative maintenance, which will make sense shortly. Now, what else have I left to cover? I've covered the bonuses, covered its thingy. So, skills, equipment. Let's just have a look at the supplies. 380 for your armour piercing rounds, 4,000 for your heat rounds, and 255 silver for your high explosive. Now, modules. And I'm trying to keep this one a little bit shorter. There's not a great deal to talk about. Now, engine. In fact, let's just cover some others. Maximum speed, 45 kilometers an hour, which is not bad, and it can shift. 200 horsepower engine. Concealment is pretty damn good when it's stationary at 0.40. On the move, it's not bad either, really, at 0.24. The top speed, I just wish it was a little bit faster. It's got a very good power to weight ratio of 28.04, so it can shift, and it does get up to that top speed quite quickly. I just feel it, I don't know, not that I feel, I don't know, it'd be kind of nice if it was maybe 55. I don't know, possibly. But anyway, gameplay wise, it does compare a lot to the E25. You know, you set up at a distance in the support role with somebody spotting for you or using your teammates to spot. You take your shots, you relocate, and you try not to be seen as much as possible. Reverse speed is only 12 kilometers an hour, and that can let you down when you're trying to reverse back off the ridge or back into cover. That can let you down, and one of the things you're going to have to learn in this is when to take a risk and when not to. You really are. Because of that reverse speed, you can't get back out of the firing line as quickly as you can get into it, and you're really going to have to learn when to just pull back. Fire chance of 15%, and the engine is in the front, which is why I'd say preventative maintenance. I get my engine damaged a lot in this if I get hit through the front. So I would recommend that, and you're going to get your gun damaged and knocked out a hell of a lot, like I say, because of how you play it. Now, gun wise, elevations not bad at 15 degrees. Maximum depression though is very good at minus 10 degrees, and the way you kind of use this is either get a hold down or pop up over the ridge line, and when you do, all you are showing is your gun and your gun shield. That's it. And you imagine it 200-300 meters away, that's a very, very small target, and that hole in that side, it is a hole. I have had the odd shell go through there from time to time. Not very often, but it does. So you're not showing very much of your vehicle itself, but your gun will get hit and it will get damaged a lot. Tracks, well, 40 degrees for the whole traversal, like we said. Terrain resistances aren't great, but they're not bad. It could be slightly better. 1.1, 1.3 and 1.8. Your radio, well, that's actually your commander's position, and you can see it on the tank model. It's just under the seat there for your radio. Your ammunition, again, you can see on the tank model, and it's that big old block at the back of the tank. And your crewman, well, there's a seat for each crewman, so you've got your commander there sat above the radio, your driver in front, and your loader and gunner on the right hand side of the tank. And if you can see the seats when you're shooting at one of these things and you're wanting to, you know, try and take out crew members, that's where you want to be shooting for the seats. Armour wise, well, it's 1 mil all round. It does say armour depth 1 to 10 mil over on the right hand side there. The 10 mil, I believe, is your tracks, which will act as a small amount of spaced armour, and your gun itself. The gun shield, the hull, everywhere else is just 1 millimeter, so you are never going to bounce a shot. I would say you might absorb one, luckily, on your tracks. I think I have done every now and again, but armour wise, you know, for your standard things, shooting at you and hitting you, yeah, everything that shoots at you will overmatch that armour, so it doesn't matter the angle, you're going to get hit, and that's why you want to play the ridge lines, you want to play hull down, and very, very much the supporting role, and try and keep yourself at a distance. You can, when you get good in this and very confident, towards the late game, you can actually come up on lone damaged heavies. You know, the ones that might take 2 shots or 1 shot to kill. You can sneak up behind them, put a shot in, and you can actually normally outmaneuver them until you can reload and get your other shot, and your rate of fire isn't bad at all. So you can do stuff like that in this, but it does take a bit of practice. And I think that's about it, really. I'll talk about the actual gameplay style and try and give you a few tips on it in the match itself. But yeah, you do ridge lines, Yeah, this thing loves them, absolutely loves them, and because you're only showing a very, very small target to shoot back at, like I say, if you keep it at range, you are very, very hard to hit. So let's get into the gameplay and see how it actually handles. Right, so here we are for the first of the replays. It's a tier 7 match and it's on Overlord and it's a standard battle. Now, you probably noticed in the garage I'd still got Every Nation for itself part 1 up, and that's because I couldn't find a damn Chinese vehicle. Every time I did, it was on my team. I tried going in my Chinese vehicles to see if it sort of, you know, with the matchmaking might pair me up with one on the other team, and no. I have now done it though, however, because Wargaming seem to have changed it to the Chinese and Japanese vehicles being included together. I checked it and they were separate before, and yeah, now they are together. They must have changed it today because there were probably quite a lot of people having the same problem. You don't seem to see many Chinese vehicles, to be honest. Now, there's 3 replays tonight. This is a tank that, you see, I like this tank, but I'm not very good in this tank. Sometimes I just, you know, I know what I should do, and sometimes I just play it a bit too aggressively. I mean, that wasn't, you know, too aggressive popping up there, but I should have just come back as soon as I got spotted. I should have just pulled back instead of waiting and, you know, trying to get a return hit. That was pointless. But yeah, I'm not the best Scorpion driver. Like I say, I do like it. I want to be good in it. I'm not bad in it, but there's people out there that will do a lot better in this, although again, you don't tend to see many of them. Now I'm going to try and skirt round and use this part here. See, I'm far enough away and I've got cover in between me, so my teammates are actually doing the spotting. There's a T150. And I should be far enough away through this foliage not to be seen even when I fire, hopefully. Now, another thing I mentioned was the gun dispersion values. I was slightly wrong on that. I'd got slightly confused with a different tank. They are pretty poor when you're on the move, but when you're just moving the actual gun itself, or when you're firing, sorry, they're actually quite good. You know, they're not too bad at all, so that was my slight mistake in the garage. So yeah, on the move they are pretty poor dispersion values, but yeah, from just moving your gun or from firing, they're actually pretty good, and it does settle down quite quickly, as you can see there. Even when I pulled it right across, you know, it didn't take long for it to settle back down again. And I managed to get one on the T150, and you can just see how good the actual gun arc is on the front of this. I don't think it's quite as good as the T28 concept, and obviously it's not as good as the T28 prototype, which is almost a fully traversable turret. But you know, this is a hell of a lot better than a lot of the other tank destroyers. And I'm pretty confident that I can stay here without being seen for now. I've got to be very aware that artillery are in this match, and whenever you're in a match in this and artillery are in the match, you really have to pay attention. You do not want arty hitting you, because they will hit, they will pen, and they will do full damage. And that was a very lucky hit on that T1 heavy. Now, something knows that I'm over here in this general direction. Probably that hammer. Yeah, he's looking straight at me, and I should have relocated. Again, this is the benefit of hindsight, you know. He's taken a shot in my direction that went high, but the next one hits me and damages my gun, surprisingly. Yes, you will get your gun damaged a lot. Now, yeah, like I say, this is the benefit of hindsight, is I should have moved. Like I say, you know, those of you familiar with the E25 and other sort of glass cannon tank destroyers, but more, I'd say more with the E25, I should have taken the shots, and as soon as that first one, not the one that went over me, but the one way before that, as soon as that one came in my direction, I should have moved, relocated, and started shooting from there, and then move again. And that's one of the ways that you keep safe in this. You sort of, I like to go as far forward as I kind of dare. Let other guys, you know, go in front of me. See, I can hit that T150, and yeah, he's not going to see me from way over there. Let other guys go in front of me to spot, and then if I need to, I can fall back. But that's something that you're going to have to learn. It's not something really that I can sort of tell you, but you're just going to have to figure out when you need to fall back, or if you need to fall back. If your team end up pushing forwards, you just sort of, you know, you keep up with them a little bit, but try and stay at a distance. Now I'm keeping an eye on that T150. I would like to put some more shots into him, but I'm also keeping an eye out just on my left on the map, because I think that hammer's still alive and he could be working his way down here. There is nobody in the middle of the map, and that's when I decide to move to try and get a better shot on the T150, and I get spotted, and I'm not sure quite what it's by. I'd be very surprised if it was the T150 with how far away he was, but it could have been. But I have a feeling it could be possibly that hammer or something else on his way down. And I've still got no shot of the T150. But as you can see, you know, its acceleration's quite good. There's the T150. Now I can get a shot. Oh, that's a bit iffy. Yeah, it just knocks his tracks off. And I feel like I'm kind of safe. And I just pulled forward a little bit, which managed to decrease the angle just enough for me to pen him, take him out, and I did see that heavy pop back up on the map, and I'm pretty sure that that's probably that hammer. Now, I suppose in a way there was a Hellcat there. I suppose it's kind of a similar play to the... Oh no, it's Tiger P. Yeah, back off. Yeah, it could be similar to the Hellcat as well. And this is target fixation and poor map awareness. The one point where I didn't keep watching the map. And it allowed the T-43 to just come straight up behind me and take me out. So we'll skip to the end and see how we did. Well, that one was a victory. 73,000 silver, 3,702 for the daily double, and 2,232 damage done with a tiny bit of assisted. I did get 5,000 extra silver though from the op, and I came top of the table, which is nice, with a decent amount of damage actually compared to the rest of the team. So yeah, not bad. But yeah, I do like, you know, I do kind of like this tank. And like I say, the gun, you know, its penetration, you know, it is a decent gun, and it can definitely manage up in the tier 9 matches. I don't have any tier 9 footage for you, unfortunately, but I do have this one. It's a bit short. It's a tier 8 match. It's on Fisherman's Bay, and it's you know, standard battle again. Now, this one, I wasn't going to include this one. But both of the other replays ended up being tier 7, which is a bit unfortunate, and I did want something slightly higher tier. But I suppose there's a couple of bits in this, and it kind of shows you the benefit of this being such a sort of small tank, because I end up not being too far away really from an IS-3, and a bit of foliage in between us. And I'm shooting at him, and my sixth sense is not going off, and neither's my detected. I think detected they have to be shooting, pointing at you though. But yeah, sixth sense wasn't going off. But it's yeah, it's just a bit of an all-round disaster though, this match in general. But it does, like I say, it gives you another sort of look at the Scorpion and what it can and can't do. Now I've popped up here. I'm not going to cover the gully, I'm going to cover this area. And again, I would probably put a different crew in this if I was running it for myself. But like I said in the garage, I do like to put a fairly fresh crew in, just with sixth sense on, just so you can get a better idea of what the tank's like when when you buy it, or if you're putting a fresh crew in it because you've not got one, etc. But I probably would. I've got an American crew, I think, with not sixth sense, situational awareness and a few other skills on, which would probably go in here, and that really does help with the binoculars to extend that view range. Now, there's a heavy coming down that valley on the right, but there's a 5100 up at the far end. It's a bit of a dodgy angle, but I think they have a pike nose, don't they? So it might be that I'm just getting the flattened out part of it. But as you can see, the rate of fire is quite nice on this. And yeah, so is the pen as well. I mean, 200 and, what was it, 219, I think, did I say? For the standard ammunition on a tier 7. And there's some people that, even though this has only got 1 mil of armour, you know, all around, there are some people that do call it sort of quite OP, and that's basically, from what I understand, is the pen on the gun, the rate of fire on the gun, and its concealment. A bit like with the, yeah, I suppose a bit like with the E25, some people call that OP, and that's basically got no armour, and it's, you know, it doesn't do a lot of damage, but its rate of fire is ridiculous, and so is its concealment. Now, the IS-3, I have been spotted now, probably by the IS-3, and yeah, something's just given me a bit of a nasty hit, and again, benefit of hindsight, I should have pulled back earlier, I should have possibly pulled back further, but I didn't want to leave Artie on his own, and I was trying to basically help him out. Now here, as you can see, no sixth sense is going off. You know, it was before, so I pulled back just a little bit, and I'm 158 metres away, firing through that bush, and my sixth sense was not going off, and same with this AMX M4 as well. I'm not very far away. Where is it? 188 metres, and I fire through the foliage, and I've not been spotted. And in fact, I don't think I do until something else comes over on the left and has a more direct line of sight with me. There you go. And it was when I fired, and that's me taken out by a T-32 actually that I didn't see. So yeah, that was a disaster all round. The enemy team barely lost any tanks, and we got wiped out. But I still managed 1900 damage and got 64,000 silver from it, although I did get 25% extra because of the op. But I just wanted to show you its sort of concealment at work as well. But I did come top, which is nice. Like I say, it was a bit of a disaster, so it is nice just to come top, even though. And then we've got one more replay for you, and I think it's another tier 7 match. But yeah, you want to try and, like I say, it's definitely a supporting tank. There are times when you can nip in, you know, if there's something that's a one-hit kill, you can basically zip up to it, boom, dead. And that's sort of towards the later part of the match. It excels on the ridge lines, it really does. But you can be a little bit reliant sometimes on whether other people are spotting for you, because, like I say, I mean, if you get close and you have got just, you know, it doesn't take much to hide this tank. That's the thing. It doesn't take much of a rise in the ground or a small hill to actually hide this. And if you do end up having to, you know, you do end up in a situation where you're having to get in close, try and put yourself in a position where you have got something just to back, you know, like back off behind or back up behind. Just a small dip in the ground, just enough to hide you, so all you're poking over is your sort of gun and your gun shield, and you know, just pop up and try and snapshot. And that's the best advice I can give. Or indeed, because you have got quite a wide sort of gun arc on the front, and you have got good traverse, you know, I wouldn't recommend it, but you know, if there's no other alternative, there is possibly quite a bit of stuff you could outmaneuver, maybe circle, and with your wide gun arc, it wouldn't be too difficult to keep your gun sort of trained on it, or at least bring it around onto it as you're going around the back of it, that sort of thing. So, you know, there is that. Like I say, I wouldn't recommend it, but if there's no other alternative, it's definitely worth a shot. And I don't know. I've enjoyed going in this again. I've not taken. Well, I say I've not taken it out for a while. I go in it every now and again, just for something a bit different, because like I say, I do like this tank. I just want to get a bit better in it, so I'm going to practice. And I am very much aware that I'm pretty much on my own down this western side of the map. But there's a lot of places down here that I can use to my advantage. But unfortunately, when an Oni gets alongside you, along with something else down there isn't much you can do about it. And I'm just very, very happy that he wasn't using, or didn't seem to be using, the 15cm howitzer, because if that thing had have hit me, well, yeah, that'd have been good night for me right there and then. And you could just see as I was trying to pull back off that hill how much, well, how slow it is in reverse, and how much that can actually affect you. And if you don't read the map properly, or you don't pull back in time, you'll take, an extra hit over something that's a little bit quicker on the reverse. But once I manage to turn around, I'm pulling right back up towards ICAP and getting myself in a better position again. And I was lucky there that there was, that hill in between me and the Oni, because, again, it was risky being that far forwards, but I didn't have much of an alternative, to be honest, and a bit of luck that basically the Oni didn't kill me, but I managed to get back, pull back quite quickly, and now I've found somewhere that I can just poke the gun and gun shield over and try and return fire. Although, when I can actually get at them, can I get a shot at him? There we go, finished him off. Now I've got to keep an eye on this 2801. Am I going to reload in time? No, he's dead. Oh, there's a 5916 down there. Got him. And like I say, .33, it's not bad accuracy either. It is a good gun, and that's essentially what this is. It's basically just a gun on tracks. Now, yeah, I'm not moving any further forward yet. I'll let that heavy move in and try and spot for us. Nearly got the 5916. Can I get one last shot on him? Nope, missed. Yeah, and I bet somebody else takes him out before I manage to get another shot. And T43 making a run for it. I'm going to keep an eye on him. See if I can't get a shot at him. Can I get him? No, he's really in cover. Oh, there's a 5916. Yeah, he's dead. Right. That T43 was making it. There he is, making a run for it. Now he's right down at the bottom in J1. Yeah, J1. And with those heavy tanks in between me and him, they would have hopefully spotted anything else that was coming up that way. So yeah, I'm feeling pretty confident in moving forwards at this point in the game. There's only 2 mediums and tank destroyer. Oh, mind you, the tank destroyer is a Steering Mill and on full health. Got 2 mediums, the tank destroyer, and an arty left. The Steering Mill's getting a bit of hammer. And if somebody could just give him one more hit, he should be a one-hit kill for me, hopefully. And I think I'm going to move in. I'm going to sweep round wide and try and use the fact that he's dropping down into the river, and try and use the high ground just to poke over the edge and take him out. Has he lost any more health? Now he has. Yeah, fingers crossed he should be a one-hit kill for me. Hopefully, anyway. Where is he? See, the T43, he must have been taken out. So there's just that medium on the island, and this guy left. Oh, it'd be close. Oh, bang on 240, and it left him on 1 health. Talk about a mercy roll. And yeah, he had enough banging his gun to take me out altogether. But there you go. Well, that's the M56 Scorpion. Came out of that match with 84,000. Although again, I think I did get possibly some extra from that. Yep, an extra 25%. 1,993 damage of my own and 500 assisted, and that one put me second in that match, but it was a good fun match. But yeah, that's it. That's the M56 Scorpion, and I hope that's helped you out if you struggling to actually use that one. Excuse me. And I hope you've enjoyed the episode, and maybe next time it comes around you might think I'll pick one of those up. But I'll be back tomorrow with another video, so as always, take care out there and I'll catch you next time. See you later.